Speaking of plague, it's getting bad, folks. We now have confirmation that the super hyperbacteria parasite has made its way to, I believe, 32 states. 32 states, I think. Rapidly spreading. Centered right now, I believe, in Wisconsin, Michigan? I think Michigan. Not great.
For those of us who enjoy fresh produce, a local infectious disease doctor says it's probably best to stay away from it for the next week or so, even if you wash it. NBC7's Shondell Moniz has details about a foodborne illness outbreak that just reached California.
Outbreaks for this gastrointestinal disease are common right now during the summer. With the CDC reporting its first cases in California, doctors say this is not something to take lightly.
At summertime, it tends to be a nice environment for the organism to flourish, particularly in watershed areas.
We're talking about cyclosporiasis, a fecal parasite illness that's often linked to produce because of how much water it needs. This contamination is what's making people sick.
Patients report cramps, watery diarrhea. You can have nausea, vomiting. You can have fever.
Great weight loss tool, I hear.
And then a profound dehydration ensues. Usually it ends up in an admission to our local hospitals.
The CDC reports thousands of cases across 32 states, including California, as of Friday, making it hard to track. There are
thousands of cases, and it is not stopped by washing your fruit. It's a fecal parasite. It is, my understanding is this is caused by poop-infested wastewater that is redirected into irrigation. This is almost certainly happening because of the rapid deregulation of US's oversight over agriculture. So far, we haven't even had a press conference about this. This is already an outbreak, and we have no oversight. How bad is it compared to the flu or COVID? It's a fundamentally different it's a parasite.
More cases than reported, as many people weather the storm themselves and never seek treatment. Researchers also haven't traced this outbreak's source yet.
Products can come from all over the world. And so I don't think it's a safe thing to assume that that's not going to reach us.
A lot of people hearing this think, oh, well, I'll just wash my produce super well. But Dr. Smith says this time that might not be so simple.
Boil it. If you boil it at a higher temperature for a while, then you can be sure that the organism is not going to cause problems. Other than that, all bets are off, even if you wash it with water and soap.
I have it. I'm fairly convinced I got it from my local grocery store's pre-packaged lunch option. It's been my only exposure to leafy greens I've had in a few days, and I swear to God, I have not been more than 10 feet from a bathroom for 48 hours. I hate it so much. I'm very sorry. Make sure to drink lots of water, okay? You're probably on a toilet right now watching this via your phone. Just make sure to drink lots, okay?
You know, if you're somebody that's into going to salad bars on a weekly basis, just give that a rest for a week or two while we figure out where this outbreak is coming from.
Turn on your auto-renew sub.
Especially if you get dehydrated quickly or are immunocompromised. Shondell Moniz, NBC7.
There you have it. The CDC says it is working closely with states to find the source of the illness, but a food safety attorney warned that previous cuts to public health funding could slow the investigation.
It's so cool how complicit our media is. This is being directly caused by CDC cuts. Very, very, very directly. Under any other presidency, by now, we already would have had a task force. We would have had a press conference. We would have had, but so far we've gotten nothing from the federal government. Just fucking dead silence. In Michigan, they're saying it was the lettuce. Well, it can be like any fresh produce because the feces parasite seems to be coming from irrigation water. And people don't typically cook their lettuce. I mean, you can, but often they don't for salads or whatever. Over 4,000 reported cases, which means in all likelihood, it's actually tens of thousands because most people don't go to the hospital when they have explosive diarrhea. They just, say, ooh, I have food poisoning. The parasite typically spreads when traces of infected human feces make their way to a water source that's used to irrigate or clean produce, which people then eat. Yippee! Yeah, there's a lot of gross stuff in poop. Basil, cilantro, mesclun lettuce, raspberries, and snow peas. So I just can't get produce right now? Well, that's the recommendation. Yeah, just don't get it. I mean, who knows, right? Only eat red meat? Well...
More cases of a gut-wrenching illness that is caused by a parasite that may be found in raw vegetables and fruit. There's a lot of uncertainty around that. That's why I say may. There are new numbers that have just been released, and they show that there are now more than 3,000 cases in Michigan and Ohio, which are the hardest hit states, most of them in Michigan. We have CNN health reporter Jacqueline Howard joining us on this. Jacqueline, this story just really seems to balloon here. Tell us more about the people who have gotten sick and some of the uncertainty around all of this.
That's right, Brianna. We're seeing more and more cases emerge. And what we know about the people who've gotten sick, some of them have been hospitalized. When you look at Michigan alone, where there are now more than 2,600 cases that have been reported, 44 of them have been hospitalized. And when you look across the country, there have been dozens more hospitalizations as well. In total, Brianna, 31 states across the country have reported cases, but not all of those cases that we know so
the
far
rice and beans
are
safe,
connected.
folks.
These cases are still under investigation, and currently the only cluster of cases that has been described as an outbreak are those cases in Michigan as well as some in Ohio. And the reason why it's really difficult, Brianna, to pinpoint, okay, what's the original source of this outbreak or of these clusters is because once someone becomes infected, it can take anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks for symptoms to emerge. So health officials...
That fucking sucks. 2 days to 2 weeks? That's the range? That's crazy.
Especially those in Michigan, are really scrambling to identify the source of these cases. And the symptoms that cyclospora infections, which is called cyclosporiasis, the symptoms of this illness include watery diarrhea. In some cases, it's described as explosive diarrhea, Brianna, as well as loss of appetite, cramping, bloating, nausea, fatigue. These symptoms can lead to dehydration, and for some patients, it's dehydration that has led to them being hospitalized. So it's really important, Brianna, to be mindful of how you can even become infected. A lot of infections sometimes are tied to infected, or
Can't they just test sewage water at wastewater treatment to track the amount in an area? Test? Who do you think runs the country right now? Test? Test what? Who? What? Work? Doing work? What?
Contaminated fresh produce or contaminated water, like from water parks, or if you're eating fresh produce.
Can it kill people? Diarrhea can easily kill you if you don't drink enough water. Yeah, for sure.
It's really important to wash your fruits and vegetables because this illness can be miserable. I'm telling you, Brianna, a lot of people want to avoid this altogether.
Okay, so talk to us about washing fruits and vegetables, because the pictures that we're looking at here, I think is how a lot of people do it. They run their fruit or vegetable underneath a stream of water. Maybe they're trying to make sure they clean the surface of it. I mean, is that enough? Is there a soak? Do they need to use some kind of additive in the water? What can we do?
Yeah, so water is better than nothing, but to really be more effective with cleaning your fruits and vegetables, you can add a little bit of vinegar to create a vinegar rinse. So what you want to do, mix 1 part vinegar with 3 parts water in a large bowl.
People are not going to be doing this shit.
Put your fruits or your vegetables in there, make sure they're covered with this vinegar rinse, and then physically stir your fruits and vegetables around in that water, and even, scrub or rub those fruits and vegetables to really make sure you're like physically cleaning them off. And that can help really make washing your fruits and vegetables more effective with reducing your risk of getting sick in the first place. So try that out, and Brianna, that is more effective than just water alone.
Dr. Redfield, how serious is this illness, and what sort of...
I mean, he's a very serious man, as you can tell from his fucking Amish face and beard, so I assume pretty serious.
What sort of food should we be avoiding right now?
This is what black people do with our food, and we constantly get shit for it online. In fairness deserved. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a TikTok from a black woman who's like, add a bit of bleach to really clean the raw chicken or whatever. I have no idea how the fuck this tendency spread in the community, but it's pretty crazy.
Well, it can be quite serious, and then it can cause severe dehydration if it's not treated in terms of maintaining your hydration. Luckily, an antibiotic that we know as Bactrim or Septra does have some positive impact, so it is partially treatable. But it can be a quite uncomfortable gastrointestinal pathogen. It's a parasite. It can, really last anywhere from 2 to say 2 days, 2 weeks, and even longer into even a month with severe diarrhea, gastrointestinal disturbances. The foods that we associate it with largely are fresh vegetables, and fresh fruits. We have had outbreaks in this country secondary to cilantro, to basil.
Notice how in this CNN segment and in literally every other segment we've looked at, there has been basically no mention of how this is a direct consequence of the Trump administration gutting environmental and food safety regulations. Totally complicit media, totally bought. This is like a one-to-one. It's like a straight up one-to-one, like they did something, here's the outcome.
To snow peas, to raspberries, to lettuce. The challenge we have is that there's no real reservoir for this. The reservoir for this pathogen is actually human feces. So it's a subject of human contamination in water and in the foods that we eat. It does get killed by heating to 158 degrees, but it is hard to, it's a sticky little parasite. And so when you wash your...
With the depletion of the Colorado River and groundwater resources, a lot of fruit and vegetable production use gray water to supplement their needs. Yeah, that makes sense. The more fucked our water infrastructure gets, the more people are going to be like, well, we need to get the water from somewhere.
Vegetables, it doesn't necessarily always wash off. So, obviously the safest thing is to eat cooked vegetables, cooked fruit. But it's a quite significant outbreak right now we have in the United States. It's in 31 states. We've had no deaths.
I don't want to know what gray water is. Gray water is wastewater from houses that's not from the toilet, basically. So, like, everything run through the sink or whatever. The problem is that many people, like myself, just shit in the sink. So it's not, like, guaranteed clean water.
We have had, 80-something 86 hospitalizations, I think, the last I checked. But it can make you severe diuretic. It's a bigger problem for immunosuppressed patients with HIV infection. They can have bouts that will last longer, even months.
Wow. So what should you do then if you think you're sick with this parasite?
If you do think you
rice
have
and
it,
beans.
you develop
rice and beans,
diarrhea, abdominal bloating, abdominal discomfort. It's not a bad idea to see your physician because they can actually treat you with a drug called Bactrim or Septra if you're not allergic to sulfa, and that can alleviate your symptoms much quicker. Unfortunately, there's not.
The rice isn't safe either. You cook rice.
A lot of good alternative bacteria. Some people have, there's one study that I think was done, only one study that suggested maybe ciprofloxacin was effective, but it really wasn't a very good study, and I don't think the data is very clear. So I really think the only antibiotic that I have any confidence that may have any benefit would be Bactrim or Septra.
Last year, Dr. Redfield, the CDC actually scaled back a decades-long federal-state partnership.
Oh, hold on. We do mention it. Okay. Come on.
That monitors foodborne illnesses, including those caused by cyclospora. The move no longer requires authorities to report it and other pathogens to the Foodborne Diseases Active Surveillance Network.
He's going to be fired tomorrow.
Known as FoodNet. How do those cuts to the agency impact the response to outbreaks like we're seeing right now?
Well, it's harder to identify them. I mean, the key to public health response is pathogen identification. When I was CDC director, I really thought we had a very good program that could really pick up foodborne pathogens pretty quickly in partnership with the FDA. So I don't think it's in our country's interest to cut these programs back. Surveillance is sort of the key to early identification. The problem with the
got to put flock cameras at every irrigation outlet on a farm.
cyclosporin outbreak is, since it may take 2 to 14 days, even longer to a month to get symptomatic, it's really hard to identify source. So right now, even though it's in 31 states, unlike most foodborne outbreaks, well, we don't know the source. We don't know if it's lettuce. We don't know if it's cilantro. We don't know if it's basil. We really don't know the source. And that makes it even more problematic to try to contain the...
Like, this could end up potentially getting really, really bad. We don't even have the federal infrastructure necessary to identify where the outbreak is. We don't know, like, what farms it is. We don't know what wastewater practices are leading to it. We don't know anything. We know nothing. Like, we're just in the dark, you know? This is already really bad. Yes. 6,000 or so confirmed cases means at minimum, I'd guess 20 or 30,000 actual cases. Like, probably more than that, because again, most people, if they get diarrhea, like, most people aren't like watching the news going like, oh, I'm a concerned citizen, I will report my diarrhea immediately. You know, a lot of Americans just have permanent diarrhea anyway because their diets are so fucking bad. They wouldn't even notice. They're like, I'm having wet liquid fart shits 4 times a day instead of 2. Then more people be pooping, so it spreads even more. I mean, yeah, depending on, like, the gray water price. Then people are shitting in the sink. They're like, oh, my tummy, but the only bathroom is occupied. I'm going to have to shit directly into the sink. And then the gray water gets fucking washed out to the local farms, and then the cycle continues.
The outbreak.
Can we start with just what makes this different than other foodborne illnesses?
So it makes it different in that we still haven't been able to track where it's coming from. So unlike many infections, this is not transmitted from human to human. Yeah. The more likely place that we get it is actually from our food source, and it's the fresh fruits and vegetables. The main thing that people like me as a cardiologist are telling people to consume. Right. It's on fresh fruits and vegetables. These are little parasites, what we call little oocytes, the little eggs that then can get into your body and begin to develop and create more and more what we call havoc in the intestines, also known as diarrhea.
Mm-hmm. And so this is the time of year. I mean,
most households don't have separate black water, gray water drains. I guess that'd be more of like a corporate office thing, yeah, probably, because the infrastructure necessary to keep 2 wastewater pipes. Yeah, maybe like apartment buildings. Would apartment buildings have that? Not really sure. Well, we'd be shitting in the sink everywhere. You know, real shitters know. So
should be eating fresh fruits and vegetables all
the
year
time.
long.
That's correct.
But this is, you know, the summer brunchy time. You have your, you know, fresh fruit salad.
Yeah, we're doing our fun spin. We're doing our fun little spin. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
31 states are now reporting cases of a parasitic intestinal disease that is making life miserable for those who contract it. And while the U.S. has seen outbreaks of cyclosporiasis in the past, the some 4,000 reported cases this summer are much higher than normal and raising real concerns about the illness. William Brangham has more on what you need to know.
Right now, officials can't pinpoint the exact source or sources of this outbreak. It's a food or waterborne disease caused by a parasite, cyclospora.
I guess we'll see how bad it gets. We still haven't really seen how the screwworm thing plays out. I mean, meat prices are fucking sky high right now, so I guess we're kind of seeing it. I don't know. It's a damn outbreak. There are just so many tiny little things that the federal government does that we don't really appreciate until it's too late. I mean, I appreciated it because I'm built different, but, you know, genuinely hell for those of us who eat greens regularly. Yeah, just like, I don't know, roast your broccoli for a bit. It's fine if you cook it. It kills the poop bacteria or whatever. Parasites, not bacteria. Yeah, just like cook them for a while. Have some like broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, whatever. I don't know. Cook the poop away. Chat keeps bringing up lab-grown meat. Lab-grown meat is such a, like, no offense, because, like, lab-grown meat could be good, but it's such a, like, internet thing to bring up. Like, that shit represents what? Like, 0.00000000000. Like, what are we talking about? We're talking about the real world right now. We're talking about existing policy, not, like, abstract, he didn't read the full of what I said. In fairness, you do type a lot, nuts. Doesn't cooking poop produce mean I'm sauteing them in poop residue? Nah, because if it gets hot enough, it stops being poop. If you cook poop hot enough, it just turns into what, like carbon dust or something? Probably? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Think bananas are okay because of the outer skin? I have not seen bananas listed as a potential vector. So I guess like the skin might help. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Explosive diarrhea. Fuck, I'm realizing anyone else like incapable of mentally logging how to spell diarrhea Diarrhea. I never ever retain that information. Did we pick it up from a different language, or is diarrhea an English special? It's from Greek? It was one of the first words we invented. Okay, gotcha. Coined by Hippocrates in ancient Greek, diarrhea, but like H-O-I-A, meaning a flowing through. Huh. Wouldn't have thought it was Greek, but I guess the spelling's changed. There's two spellings, US and UK. Oh, they have an O in there. Okay, gotcha. All right, well, whatever. We're both borrowing it from the Greek language, so not really like a right or a wrong way to do it. Agree, dysentery is a better word, but dysentery is a different thing. Diarrhea is just like a generic term for pooping like crazy. Dysentery is a specific thing.